Every mom hears about starting solids or baby-led weaning, but no one tells you how overwhelming, messy, and nerve-wracking it actually feels. Purees, finger foods, choking versus gagging, we're breaking it all down, the good, the bad, and the sticky.
Welcome to Baby Then What, the podcast you didn't know you needed for the real, unfiltered side of motherhood.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Jessie, and we're just two moms of two in the thick of it.
We're sharing the real and unhinged side of motherhood no one else talks about.
If you've ever said, I had a baby, now what? You're in the right place.
By the way, you're doing amazing, even if no one said it today.
Welcome back to the Baby Then What podcast. Today we are talking about starting solids, food, all of the messy parts in between. We've both done it now, multiple times. We've had different experiences of what worked, what didn't. I feel like the funniest thing about this topic is that our parents' generation is spoon feed the kid, very clearly stick the spoon in their mouth, zero mess, don't want to see, my mom sees something on the floor, she's
Panic.
I'm it's fine, they're figuring it out. But
no, and they were shoving
spoon feeding it
in your mouth.
Yes.
And if you didn't eat, they would just literally shove it with the airplane and shove it in your mouth.
No, and now I think what we've learned is this era of parenting, there's a lot of different options. So there's the baby-led weaning, which basically what it is the baby is leading themselves.
The way.
Yeah. You're not the one feeding them. They are feeding themselves. And there's lots of different books out there. We've actually had somebody on the show before where she's talked about the book that I used randomly. We found out on the episode.
It was pretty funny.
We'll link the episode as well. But basically, the idea is you give your kids foods in a way that's safe, easy for them to grab
onto,
based on their age and stage.
So soft enough.
And soft enough that if you can
press it in between your fingers, that it smushes. With their gum. They could do it with their gums.
So, and then it also tells you some foods that you would want to feed them, but how to treat them differently. For example, bread. Not the best thing to give a newborn or not a baby because it gets so mushy. But if you toast it, it makes it more crumbly and therefore less scary.
Right.
So different things for different ages. But we have lots of questions.
Yeah. So the first one is the Google spiral. When you're it's time to do it. What do I feed my baby first? So let's coincide. Let's do the purees with the baby-led weaning because I think we both did both at the same time.
Yes.
The purees, I feel they're getting it more so into their system. Whereas in the beginning, the baby-led weaning is more for texture and feeling and kind of learning the gag reflex. But let's get into the first food. You're ready to go, Jessie. What is the first food you are giving your kid?
Number one piece of advice with feeding your kids food is that in the beginning, you should assume that it's not food is fun. I don't like that saying, but I definitely think that you shouldn't assume that that's the bulk of their calories.
Yes.
Always augment and supplement with milk or formula or whatever it is because you just don't want them to be hungry. No. And the food should be it should be fun and activity, but it shouldn't be
don't get so upset if they're not taking it.
Exactly. That's step one. Step two is you should try both. I honestly highly recommend trying both because every baby is different.
I agree.
And some of them like the purees. Some of them will spit it in your face.
Yeah.
Some of them will like to grab and some of them will chuck
back
tomatoes
to your face.
In your head. So just, preface that. I would say if you're going to do purees, make your own. It's really fucking easy and you know exactly what's going in it. And then you can hide all the veggies and you can do.
You should start with one, pick one,
combo.
Let's say a carrot, for example.
Yeah, carrot, apple, whatever.
So with the carrot, whoever's listening to this, you're going to take the carrot, you're going to boil the carrot, you're going to mash the carrot, and then you're going to add either the breast milk that they are drinking or the formula that they are drinking into that carrot, make it really mushy. And that's when you're giving them the spoon. Yeah. That's when you can let them taste it a little bit. It's very new to them. That would be my first choice when you're starting. So start with a carrot, start with a pear, start with a sweet potato. And then
all you have to do is boil it or steam it.
And add it with
and
milk.
Then the handheld mixers. Yeah. People are going to think this is the handheld mixer.
Yeah.
Is your best friend and you just zhuzh it and just put it on their lips, get them used to it.
Yeah.
The other thing too to consider is to get them used to flavor, freezing things because that helps with the teething. This is all happening at the same moment that they're teething. Yes. So You want to give them, you've said it multiple times, frozen bagel or bread. That's more for the gnawing, but for flavor, like
Fruits.
frozen banana, frozen watermelon, there's those things like the
plastic little things.
Yeah, you can stick the fruit in, freeze it, and let them suck on it and stuff. I would say if you're really scared, start with purees, start with things they can suck on. Like that is like literally foolproof. Like they're not choking on.
And if they don't like it, they're
purees.
just going to spit it right back at you.
Yeah. If you want to go down the camp of baby-led weaning, which a lot of people love, I would say you definitely should buy a book or two because it really gives you knowledge. We could post the one that I use that I love, but basically it explains that when they're littler, they can't pick with their pincer grasp, their index and their thumb. They pick with their whole hand. So they just like grab it up and shove it in their mouth. So think of an asparagus. You want it long so that they can grab it and then a piece sticks out the end and that they could eat on. So however you cut your food, however you make them stuff, if you want to like cut them a piece of toast, it should be like long. So like everything's long.
So like a banana. This all looks
I know it's
so
you gotta
bad
watch
right now.
this
If
episode.
you're watching this is bad. Anyways, this is a banana. If you're not watching this, you know what a banana looks like. It is a cylinder. It is long. It is circular. You're not just cutting. You're not giving the whole banana to a 6-month-old. You are going to cut that into 4 pieces to make it into a longer sliver, kind of looking like an asparagus.
Yeah.
Because they can choke on that banana 1000%. You're not giving them a full chunk of banana. You're going to cut it in long pieces, exactly what Jessie said. They're going to grab it with their palm and slowly gnaw on it. And a banana is soft enough that they can bite it with their gums. So those are a couple examples of like the first
100%
kind of foods that you can use.
And what I would say too is don't be afraid to give them meat and protein. Like I was struggling with Benny sleeping in the early days. And I talked to a lot of different nutritionists. I talked to a lot of different sleep coaches. And what they said to me is that he is not getting his full nutrition to feel full. And carbs are great. Like sure, you could do the rice cereal, the oatmeals, all that stuff. But that is not giving them sustenance long term. If you want your kid to sleep through the night and you're having issues today, I highly recommend going a protein route. Like at one point, I was making like homemade chicken soup.
I was gonna say
with the whole chicken in the soup and then blend it or take the broth and put it in a baby bottle. Yeah. And then he was getting the flavors of like salt and this. And don't be afraid about salt too. Like I know a lot of people don't want to give their kids salt. Like I would be more afraid of sugar than salt.
I agree 1000%.
And the other thing you can do is make like a hamburger or whatever and like then cut again long strips and make a knot. Maybe that's
a little bit later than 6 months.
My point is that I think we thought of traditional baby food as just like mush. And
but it doesn't have to be.
But it doesn't have to be.
I agree.
Mush to me is 6 months.
Yeah, mush is 6 months.
As they get older, you could experiment with new things. And I think like if you want your kid, I don't know if the picky eating is tied to this age or not, but I definitely will say the more you expose them to, the better it is.
I agree. Neither of my kids were picky eating at all during this entire process. Arlo ate everything, Ace ate everything. To me, my experience, the picky eating started later on when they had more of a voice. At 6 months, they're kind of just like, oh, this is interesting, where this jumps into it. Babies play with food before they eat it. So also don't be in shock if they're taking that banana, they're kind of like mushing it around. You're like, ugh, but I cut a stick and I cut it perfectly. I cut it the way Jessie and Amanda are saying, or this book is saying, like they're going to play with it. I think learning.
Yes.
I love all these tips because one of our girlfriends called and she was like, there's mess everywhere. I'm freaking out. Like there's mush. She's throwing this around. I'm like, well, if you're going to go the baby-led weaning route, it's going to be messy.
Yes. But I like what you just said. Mess is learning. That means, you know how they talk about sensory bins and all this shit? That is sensory for them. Like they are figuring out textures. They are learning what things are. They are learning actions and how things relate. And if I put something to my mouth and then I eat it, I'm going to taste it. Like all of this is helping their brain develop. So if you're going to put your kid in a fancy outfit at the Four Seasons for lunch,
that's on you.
Maybe don't do baby-led weaning then.
Yeah, and that's on you.
Yeah. Like do this in an environment where they're naked, where you have a smock, where you have one of those trays that go under the high
bibs.
Chair. Like everything.
There's like bibs now that like cover your whole body.
It's like a smock.
Oh, is that what a smock is? Yeah, like all over.
But I will say that I've done naked feeding before. And when you feed them acidic foods like citrus
Yes, that's a
or
good point.
tomato, my kids at least get rashy.
Same.
So I would recommend, if you don't want to buy a smock, just pick a
Shirt
t-shirt
that you don't
and
care
that's the
about.
food t-shirt.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
forever it's gross and you can wash it, but it will be stained and it is
Yeah,
what
people
it
are
is.
going to think that they're having an allergic reaction, but their skin is so sensitive to anything acidic.
Like, you have to think about it. Like, when you eat a meal, you take the piece of food and you shove it in your mouth.
You're not
rubbing tomato on your face like a fucking mask.
We should try it. We should do a whole thing on like eating like a baby and showing what happens to our skin to
and
like
then
really
you leave
explain
it there and then I
agree. And then another great tip I have is it's okay if you are introducing solids or baby-led weaning around 6 months and they are not taking it.
That was Benny.
Do not you for sure stressed yourself. Why isn't he doing this? Why is he not doing that?
Especially because Ziggy loved it.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, he doesn't want food. This is fucked, whatever. And every kid is different.
Every kid is different.
I just waited it out. The best thing you can do is just offer it, but don't force them. Just continue to offer. Eventually they'll see you eating something. They'll see their sibling eating something. Like they'll get to it.
So that's leading into
this one you got to talk about.
Which one? Yeah, that literally, I want to normalize gagging and choking. So let's kind of talk about that because a lot of moms get stressed over the gagging and choking. I was freaking out.
So it was actually like one of those osteo people that was telling me about the gag reflex, and she was saying that if your kid uses a pacifier, it's almost like touching it all the time that it like reduces the gag reflex. Benny's gag reflex was so intense
because he didn't take a pacifier.
Because he never had a pacifier. So if any piece of food touched him, he was like,
yeah.
And you think that they're choking.
100%. And as a first-time mom, it's very fucking scary. Very scary.
You know what I have to go get and show it on this episode is the life vac. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to pause after this and go get it for everybody.
Yeah.
But like to just have peace of mind. But the choking is if they are not speaking, if they are not like, you'll know if they're choking.
100%.
Going like this, that's not choking.
Choking, they're going to start turning white and pale and they're...
You had a choking incident.
I had a choking
Explain what
incident.
that looks like so people know.
So a choking incident is basically it wasn't food, it was an ice cube. I was not there. It was my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my husband. But from what they explained to me, the ice cube went into his throat and he basically, as soon as the choking starts, like there's no air. Like you're just like, you don't hear them. If they are crying and making noise, they are okay.
Yes.
That means something is getting through.
Yes.
As soon as the crying and you're not talking at that age, but as soon as the crying stops and it's very like, you don't hear anything, they are choking.
Right.
That was like the only real thing that you can differentiate.
Yeah, and honestly, you should take a CPR course.
We should have started this whole episode with, if you have not done a CPR course, this is your warning, your time to go and book that.
Yeah.
Everybody should have that. They're going to show you from like newborn to like Arlo's age. And then they even showed us how, like, if God forbid Jesse started choking right now, like I would know what to do. I would feel comfortable to know what to do.
Yeah.
So we should have started out with that.
Yeah, no, it's really important.
But you will know. You will know.
And multiple people will say like they need to develop their gag reflex. They have to do it and they have to get like it's part of like the oral development. Like I don't know if you've seen anything now. Like Ziggy has like airway issues and this thing and that thing, and we're starting to see like dentists and all these things, and they're like the way you feed your kid younger and the way you use a pacifier and whether they only have purees, like all these things
are affecting
impact
everything.
their like oral whatever. So, just know that them eating food, it's natural. Like they should be doing it, and how they react to it is also natural because they have to develop all this stuff.
100%. So
wait, I'm dead. Read this thing from somebody. I just saw it.
Read it.
Baby-led weaning is basically letting your baby destroy your dining room while hoping they swallowed a calorie.
100%. It's to the T and to the point.
That's really fucking funny,
right?
And very true.
So with all of that being said, we are obviously going to mention a point because when you are starting purees and baby-led weaning, you are also introducing allergens. We do
yeah.
have a full episode on allergens, so I'm not going to completely get into the whole allergen thing. But yes, you are starting it at the exact same time that you are starting your purees and your baby-led weaning. In allergens, you're not really baby-led weaning them. You're kind of doing that in purees, in your breast milk, or in formula. You are taking one allergen at a time. You are mushing it up in milk, formula, or like an oatmeal type situation. And you are giving it to them 3 or 4 days. And then you're adding in a new allergen and then continuing till you get down the list of all the allergens. And then you are starting to introduce the allergens together. So you would do peanut butter and almonds. You would just add that in. So I'm just going to keep that really short and sweet just to.
But the best advice that Amira, Dr. A, told us about on that episode was that it's not a one and done.
No.
If you do not keep doing it, you will have a higher chance of developing an allergy. You have to introduce and keep going.
Agreed.
So build it into your batters, build it into your purees, build it into everything. Keep it going. Otherwise, you could end up in a scenario like Amanda where she introduced peanuts to her son, didn't really do it any other time. And then like a year later, he had something with peanuts and got a bad reaction. And now he's anaphylactic.
To peanuts.
So not to say that will happen to everybody.
No,
because
we're not.
I did the same thing as you, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't know, but it is, you have a higher chance is what she said.
Yeah. So continue to give it to them. And honestly, I feel like in this day and age with like recipes and stuff online, like you could literally come up with a million things. Yes, it's
put it in yogurt.
Yeah.
Put it in, if you're baby-led weaning, put it in pancakes. Put it in, like pancakes, same thing. It's a circle. A pancake is a circle. You're going to cut it into strips like an asparagus, and that is how they're going to eat it.
Yeah.
Add it into little things and continue to add that in.
I feel like yogurt was my best starter.
Yeah.
Like whatever I started with, I think I did like peanut butter and yogurt, almond butter and yogurt. The fish one is fucking weird. Like you got to just give them a couple flakes of salmon or something.
Yeah.
And just mush it up.
Or I remember like not at 1, definitely not 1, but closer to like 2 was like literally taking salmon, but still not with that pincer grasp and like grabbing the whole salmon and like shoving it in his mouth.
The best is we do baby-led weaning with Benny, which to most people around me like hate it. He now eats like tzatziki with his hand.
Oh, with his hand, or is the tzatziki all over his body, head to toe?
No. Like it's like scoop and like lick. It's quite entertaining, to be honest.
For sure, but he's enjoying himself and he's finding these new textures. He's figuring out the food.
You know what?
Foods that he likes.
If you have a kid in a hot climate, just let them eat outside and you just hose them down, and then it's done.
No mess, nothing. Jessie, what are your top 3 gear ideas when starting solids and baby-led weaning?
I would get for sure like one of those splash mats. Either there's a thing that goes around the high chair that all the food can fall on, or just even like a mat that you can just like pick the high chair up, clean it up, chuck it in the garbage, and wipe it down or whatever it is. I would definitely get a high chair that's easily wipeable.
Yeah.
These fancy schmancy ones that have all these like cloth and this and that. Nightmare. You don't want anything to do with that. And then I would definitely invest in some like kid-friendly utensils and stuff so that they can kind of like be part of it, because maybe it's not at 6 months, but for sure a year, 15 months. Like my kids want to feed themselves everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Grab the spoon, grab the fork.
They want to do it by themselves. So you know what? Let them be part of it. Let them enjoy it. And just, I prefer stainless steel everything just because it's cleaner. But actually, this is what not to do. Don't get silicone.
Yeah, we talk about it in every episode that we can.
Silicone.
Stay
yucky.
Far away from it. Away from it.
The reason why is that over time, as you wash it, it like the soap seeps in. I remember one
your
time.
Food tastes like soap.
Yeah. You were wondering why Arlo didn't eat his food, and you ate it.
That he loved.
And you were like, this tastes like shit.
Yeah. He loves salmon, and I would put salmon on these silicone plates, and all of a sudden he stopped eating it for 3 days. I'm like, okay, maybe like, he's like going through a phase. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. This kid fucking loves salmon. Took a bite. It tasted like salmon soap. Vile. Those fucking plates were thrown out right away.
Yeah. Honestly, when they're really young, you don't even need plates. You just put it on the...
You're the one feeding them. If you're feeding them purees at 6 months, they're not feeding themselves. You're the one doing it with the spoon.
Josh, can you get me the Life Vac?
Now
Okay,
you ask
what
me.
is some really good meal starter ideas for like the little guys?
Okay, so banana. We'll do like you can either mushy up the banana. So a banana can go both ways. You can puree the banana with milk or you can cut it how we said. Same thing with avocado. Mushy the avocado or cut it up into long slices. Eggs.
Yes.
Eggs is also an allergen. So I would actually like, just so you know, eggs is an allergen. But same thing. You could also puree the eggs in breast milk and let them try it that way. Or then you start
did
with
scrambled.
So not at 6 months though. You're not scrambling. You're doing the sticks at 6 months.
Well, yes. At 6 months, you do like a it's like almost like an omelet, and then you like cut it in the long. And as they get older, eggs is like the number one breakfast for the kids. Like it's just scrambled eggs and butter is like so.
They love it.
Oh, this is our props.
Jesse's gonna give you a little. If you are not watching this is the point to tune in. We are gonna talk about the life vac. This is not sponsored. I have one too.
Yeah. So if you are scared, sorry to interrupt our meal starter ideas. If you are scared about starting allergens or food, solids, if you're scared about starting solids and you don't understand choking versus gagging and whatever, this is called a life vac. It's essentially a plunger for their face.
Yes.
And you would stick it on their face and like plunge this. And it essentially like
it's gonna try and it'll pull the food out.
I've seen like lots of reels and whatever on Instagram where people show examples of how it was effective.
We have it too.
I still think you should take CPR. I still think you should know what's going on. But this is just an added level of confidence that you could like put in your kid's diaper bag and just take it around with you, that God forbid, something happens. You have backup.
The life vac. You have life backup.
Okay, back to the meal starter ideas. Sorry, we were talking about avocado, banana, eggs.
Soft veggies.
Oh, yeah. I used to cut carrots and peppers and kind of broccoli a little bit and boil them.
Everything boiled. At this age, honestly.
Or steamed.
Steamed, boil it. Like, make sure that it's soft at their gums. Because, like, for example, Arlo didn't get teeth till 14 months. So,
that's crazy.
I know, that is in itself, it's crazy. He's totally fine now. But make sure that everything is soft in the beginning.
And I would also say don't be afraid of like flavor. Like obviously in the beginning, you don't need to like put salt and this and everything. But I would say like as they get a bit older, like if the food doesn't taste good, they're not going to eat it.
No.
Like they do have taste buds and they do want flavor. Like you don't have to over salt it, but like at the end of the day, like would you want to eat bland chicken?
No.
Like I don't. So, think about it like that for sure. And then as they get older, my best advice is let them go. Like they are going to want to do it. Instead of fighting them to do it and having them throw shit on the floor, just set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
Get the mat, get the thing,
and let them
know
play
it's going to be a mess. And clean it up after.
I agree.
Just don't make yourself
crazy. So to end that, our takeaways from that is babies once you start at 6 months, they do not need 3 meals a day. They do not need it. You are starting it as a process. It's going to be messy. It's going to be slow. Take it day by day. And formula and breast milk is still their number one source of nutrition until the age of 1.
And even then, to be honest, I don't even think that's like they say, food before 1 is just for fun. Maybe not for all kids.
No.
Definitely, I would say formula breast milk is the leading up 100%. To that. After 1, it still might take some kids some time
1,000%
to get into the groove. Like Benny was not
So he still needed the milk.
Yeah, and even now, he's almost a year and a half, and he'll still have like a good 9-ounce bottle in the middle of the day, a 9-ounce bottle before bed, a 9-ounce bottle in the morning, and he's eating. Like you just, maybe
so don't be stressed is basically where I was going with that. Do not be stressed and still continue feeding the milk, and they're going to lead you. Like both my kids now randomly ask for milk. So the younger one's 2.5 and Arlo's 4, like randomly. So they're telling me like they're full, they don't need it.
Right. And if you're struggling to decide between baby-led weaning or purees, I really don't think it has to be black and white. Like I totally think you can do both. I think you could continue to do both ongoing if they like both, or if they pick one, then just do that one. If they only like purees and want to be fed,
then
feed them.
Feed
if they
them.
want to, be the king of
Just-
the castle and throw their shit everywhere,
Then that's your way.
and also you can't get mad at them when they throw stuff on the floor.
No, it's like annoying. And like, if you're like a clean freak or like whatever, like, yeah, I get it. But like, hello.
Now Benny's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want something. Boom.
Boom.
Did you see the broken glass bowl the other day?
No.
I posted on the can. It was like, he was like, I don't want this, and took the bowl and swung
Swung
it across
it,
the
yeah.
counter, and the whole thing had shattered. So I think they get into that stage of just like throw
Throwing
everything.
They don't know how to
Oh.
express themselves yet. So that's their
I
only
wanna
way
leave
of expressing themselves. You
One
wanna
last
leave
thought. The like a no thank you bowl. That was something someone told me early. Not at 6 months, but maybe like a year and a half. You can put like a
really
bowl
smart.
beside their bowl to say if they don't want something, you put it in the no thank you bowl.
Oh, that is so genius, because Ace gets something on his plate recently. This is a recent thing. And he's like, I don't want this. Take it off my plate. So if he can do it by himself calmly,
Right.
without that
And you can take it
attitude,
off and not have it there. And then you hopefully don't end up on the floor.
That's
Probably
really smart.
still
I'm going to
happen.
try that tonight. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
There you go.
Thank you guys.
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.